Let's take a closer look at managing the Psykdesk patient portal. Now, the patient portal is made up of three pieces or items in the system. There's the portal user, which consists of the email address and password. It's basically the account that's used to sign in on the patient portal. There's the patient in Psykdesk, which is essentially the patient's chart. And then there's the portal user patient, which is the relationship between the portal user and the patient. So in the case where the patient is managing themselves, the patient and the portal user will be the same person. And so they will log on and manage themselves as the patient. Now, you can have certain circumstances where the practice is serving a child. In this case, the parent of the child will be the portal user, and they will manage the patient. You can also have two portal users attached to one patient, such as in the case where the mother and father are managing their child together. Or you can have one portal user attached to two patients, in the case where a mother is managing the care for both her son and daughter. The portal user patient is where you'll find all of the portal tasks which the particular portal user for that patient will have to complete, as well as any of the changes that are generated by that user for completing those tasks. Let's take a look at the patient portal in the context of the patient's chart. And we're going to take a look at a portal user that is currently attached to a patient. So my patient is Jill Jones, and if I go to the portal tab, currently this portal user is attached. The name of the portal user is Jill Jones. I can click on that, which brings me the information for the portal user patient. And remember, this is the intersection between the patient and the portal user. On this page, I can view the tasks that have been assigned to be filled out on the portal. And there's two sections. There's the patient info task, and these are tasks that contain patient information, contact information, insurance information, identification information. And then there are the form tasks, and these are the forms, the intake forms that have been assigned to the patient portal for the user to fill out. You can go ahead and delete any form task you want by selecting the task and then selecting the delete button from the action menu. On the info tasks, only specific tasks can be deleted. You can delete the contact, insurance, or identification information tasks if you do not want the patient to fill them out. To add a new task, I can select the Add Form Task button here to add a form task, or one will be available here if there's an additional patient info task for you to add. But I click the Add Form Task button, and then I can add a task, or I can add tasks using a group. So if I want to add one task at a time, I click Add Task, and I can choose a drop-down list of all the forms that I have available to add. So we'll add the adult history form and click Save. That will add the adult history form. I can also add tasks using a group. And these groups are defined under Config Setup. So I select Add Tasks using Groups. And these are all the groups that I have configured in my systems, groups being just a combination of multiple forms put together. While portal tasks are kind of the input for the patient portal, so they define what types of information or data we want to gather from the patient, portal changes are the output, and these detail all the changes that were made from the patient portal that need to be applied to the patient chart. You can use this filter to view all of the patient portal changes that have already been posted to the patient chart, or you can select this to show any portal changes that are ready to post but have not been applied to the patient's chart. In this case, I don't have any yet. Now, all of these changes have been posted automatically because I've set up Psykdesk to post all changes instantly. Now, I can also configure Psykdesk to not post certain types of changes. For example, I may not want insurance changes to be posted automatically. I may want to review those first. So I can configure Psykdesk to not automatically post those types of changes because I'll want to manually review them first before they hit the patient's chart. Let's take a look at some of the actions on the portal user patient page. The resend link action will send an email to the user containing a link to the patient portal, and that's all it does. The reset password action will reset the portal user's password to a temporary password and send them an email which they can then create a new password. So choose this option only if the user can't get in the system, for example, or if they've forgotten their password, then you can reset their password. Do not use this if the patient has no problem getting in the system, as it will deactivate their current password and they'll have to create a new one. You can configure what the emails look like when you select the resend link or the reset password link under config email templates. And then the email template that you use here will be set up under config portal config. So currently, this portal user is attached to this patient. So patient or portal user Jill Jones is attached to patient Jill Jones. I can detach them, which means I'm going to remove the relationship between the portal user and the patient. And if I do that, that means this portal user no longer has access to this patient and cannot edit or update any of the information. Let's go ahead and do that. Detach, continue. So now if I find Jill Jones, the patient, and take a look at her portal tab, she's currently not associated with any portal user. However, even though she's not associated, that portal user still exists within the system. So let's go and take a look at portal users. We'll do a search for Jill Jones. And here is the portal user Jill Jones. So we have a situation where you have the patient Jill Jones in the system and the portal user Jill Jones in the system, but they are currently not related to each other anymore since I've detached them. If I wanted to remove Jill Jones, the portal user, completely from the system, after detaching them from the patient that they manage, the last thing that I'll do is come to the action menu on the portal user page and click delete. That'll remove the portal user as well from the system. So let's go ahead and completely delete this portal user from the system. Make sure you want to do this, as this action cannot be undone. Hit continue. And now we've completely deleted Jill Jones from the system. It may take a moment to update, but now they're gone from the system. Let's take a look at adding a portal user to a patient where the portal user does not currently exist inside of Psykdesk. So first I'll go to the patient chart. I'll go to the portal tab, and then I'll click Add Portal User Patient. I'll select Create New Portal User, and since the portal user is the patient, I'm going to put Jill Jones here in this scenario, and I'll use my email address and hit Save. What this will do is create the portal user, but it will also create the relationship between the portal user and the patient, otherwise known as the portal user patient. Once you create the portal user, Psykdesk will then send that portal user an email welcoming them to the patient portal and giving them instructions to set up their user ID and password. This email is also completely configurable and can be configured under config email templates. So I can select that, and I can see the tasks that were automatically created for me when I created that portal user. And I can go and add tasks or remove tasks as needed. Now, to attach a patient to a portal user that already exists in the system, you can go to the patient's chart, click Portal, select Add Portal User Patient, and then you can select Attach to Existing Portal User. Type in the email address and hit Save. Now I have two portal users attached to one patient, and they can each complete their tasks independently of each other. Now you can also send messages to the portal users, and the easiest way to do that is to select the portal user patient that you want to send a message to. In this case, it's Jill Jones. Select Messages, And then what you'll do is you'll create a message group that will contain the portal user Jill Jones and yourself, which right now I'm logging with Jay Taylor, and hit save. So those are the folks in your message group, but you can add more people to as members to your message group, and they'll all get these messages. And I'll send them a new message, hello, and hit send. So that will now, that message will now show up in the patient's portal, and they'll be able to reply to it. You can also review the emails that were sent to a particular portal user by navigating to the portal user and selecting the Send Emails tab. So this will show you all of the emails that have been sent out to the user in the order in which they were sent. Another thing to be aware of on the portal user info tab is this last login and status fields. These fields can be helpful in troubleshooting portal users who are having issues accessing the patient portal. The last login shows the last time they were logged in, and if you're receiving this message, forced password change, it basically means that the user's password has been reset either by the reset password link or because they are a new user, and they must click on the link in that new portal user welcome email to set up their password again or for the first time. If the patient can't find the email, the easiest thing to do is on the action menu, select reset password. That will send them a new email and reset the password again. So hopefully they'll get that email on the top of their email inbox, and they can go from there. In the case where you have a new patient who has created their own portal user account, but that information has not been posted yet to create a patient chart, in those scenarios you will see a new portal user patient record here. For those portal users that are attached to one or more patients, you'll see that information listed here under the existing portal user patient section. If you allow patients to create their own account via the patient portal, you will have to manually post those changes in order to create the patient's chart. So let's assume I had a patient create their own account and fill out all their information on the portal. I can see those changes by going over into Psykdesk and looking at portal user patients and clicking at the Ready to Post New Patients view. So I can see that patient, and I can see that there are a bunch of pending changes that need to be posted in order to create that patient's chart. If you'll notice, the link to the patient's chart is grayed out because the patient's chart does not exist yet. And if I go to the portal user, I'll see that the patient's information is under the new portal user patient section and not under the existing portal user patient section where it will be if the patient chart has been created and the portal user has been attached to that patient. So the way I would post those portal changes is to click Post Portal Changes. And this would go ahead and create the patient's chart from those changes. And now I can go to the newly created patient's chart and view all the changes that were applied. If I don't want to post those patient's changes, I can select the patient change and I can cancel all of these changes. So now when I go back and look at the portal user patients, I don't have any that are ready to be posted. They're all canceled now. And in addition to canceling those portal changes, I can also reset them. I can also put them on hold, depending upon how I'd like to manage this particular patient.